Yo, the days of the CDs, the CD era it was everything. Let me tell you something about the CD era. See, when you was able to get to the record store and, buy that CD, you open up the CD, you know what I'm saying? First thing you want to look at.
Remember CDs and DVDs? Those shiny discs that once dominated our shelves in media players? Big shiny discs that held music and movies, encapsulating hours of entertainment in a compact form. They were once the kings and queens of entertainment, reigning supreme in our living rooms and cars. Artists poured their souls into creating albums and films, packaging them with care for fans to cherish. Each cover, each booklet was a piece of art. These physical copies were more than just entertainment. They were tangible representations of an artist's hard work and creativity, something you could hold and admire. Buying a CD or DVD was a deliberate act of support, a direct connection between the creator and the consumer. It was a ritual, a moment of excitement. For artists, especially independent ones, physical media was a lifeline. It was a way to reach their audience without intermediaries. It allowed them to bypass the often restrictive traditional gatekeepers of the music and film industries, giving them freedom and control. Musicians could record an album, press CDs, and sell them directly to fans at shows or through independent record stores, creating a personal connection. Filmmakers could distribute their movies on DVD through independent film festivals and online platforms, reaching audiences far and wide. This direct-to-consumer model gave artists control over their work and a larger share of the profits, empowering them to continue creating. Then came the digital revolution, a seismic shift that would forever alter the way we interact with technology and media. The internet, once a niche technology, exploded into our lives, bringing with it a wave of change that touched every aspect of our daily routines. Napster and other peer-to-peer file-sharing services popped up, offering free music at the click of a button, disrupting traditional music distribution channels. Suddenly, the carefully constructed walls of the music industry began to crumble, unable to withstand the onslaught of digital downloads. The convenience and affordability of digital downloads, even if often obtained illegally, were too tempting for many consumers to resist, leading to a massive shift in how music was consumed. The film industry wasn't immune either, facing its own set of challenges as digital technology advanced. The rise of high-speed internet brought with it the ability to download or stream movies, often illegally, bypassing the need to visit a video store or even wait for a DVD release, fundamentally changing the way we watched films. This shift from physical to digital, while seemingly inevitable, wasn't just a natural evolution. It was a revolution that redefined media consumption. It was, in part, a carefully orchestrated move by tech companies and corporations seeking to capitalize on the changing landscape of media consumption, ensuring they stayed ahead in the digital age. Capitalism, in its relentless pursuit of profit, saw an opportunity in the burgeoning digital world. Tech companies, armed with slick interfaces and promises of convenience, swooped in, offering streaming services as the future of music and film consumption. These platforms promised unlimited access to vast libraries of content for a low monthly fee. It was a seductive proposition for consumers, especially those accustomed to the shrinking attention spans of the internet age. The narrative shifted. No longer was it about owning a physical copy, about appreciating the artistry of an album sequence or a director's cut. It became about instant gratification, about having access to everything, everywhere, all the time. The focus moved away from the creators and onto the platforms, the gatekeepers of this new digital kingdom. This shift from physical to digital had a profound impact on how artists, particularly musicians, earned a living. In the age of CDs, musicians made a significant portion of their income from album sales. A hit album could translate into millions of sales, providing financial security and the ability to invest in future projects. Even moderately successful artists could sustain themselves through a combination of album sales, touring, and merchandise. Streaming services, however, operate on a fundamentally different model. Instead of purchasing individual albums or songs, subscribers pay a flat fee for unlimited access to a vast catalog. Artists are then paid a minuscule royalty fee per stream, often fractions of a cent. To make even a modest income from streaming, artists need millions upon millions of streams, a feat achievable only by the most popular acts. This disparity in earnings has had a devastating impact on the livelihoods of countless artists, especially those in the middle class of the music industry. Musicians who once relied on album sales to fund their careers are now forced to tour relentlessly, sacrificing time with family and creative pursuits just to make ends meet. The dream of making a living from creating music, once attainable for many, now seems like a distant memory. The film industry, while not as severely impacted, has also felt the pinch. While streaming services have provided new avenues for independent filmmakers to showcase their work, the revenue generated from these platforms often pales in comparison to traditional distribution models. The days of a low-budget independent film becoming a surprise box office hit and launching a director's career are becoming increasingly rare. For independent artists, the challenges are even more pronounced. Without the backing of major labels or studios, independent musicians and filmmakers often lack the resources and marketing muscle to compete in the crowded digital marketplace. They are at the mercy of algorithms and playlists, their work lost in a sea of content. The democratizing promise of the internet, the idea that anyone with talent and an internet connection could find an audience, has proven to be more myth than reality. The digital age, for all its advancements, has made it harder for artists to break through the noise and reach a wider audience. The gatekeepers haven't disappeared, they've simply transformed, taking on the form of tech giants and streaming platforms. Section 7. The illusion of abundance. More content, less value. We live in an age of content overload, where the sheer volume of available media can be overwhelming. Streaming services boast libraries with millions of songs and thousands of movies and TV shows offering more choices than ever before. But this abundance of choice comes at a cost, often leading to decision fatigue and frustration. The sheer volume of content devalues the individual work of art, making it harder for any single piece to stand out. Music becomes sonic wallpaper, something to have playing in the background rather than something to be actively listened to and appreciated. It loses its impact and emotional connection. Movies and TV shows become something to binge watch and forget, rather than experiences to be savored and discussed. The art of storytelling is diminished. This devaluation of art has a ripple effect, impacting not just the consumers but the creators as well. If consumers don't value the work that goes into creating music and film, they are less likely to support the artists who create it. This lack of support can be devastating. This in turn makes it harder for artists to sustain themselves, leading to a decline in the quality and diversity of the art being produced. The creative industry suffers, and so does our cultural landscape. Section 8. Reclaiming the narrative, artists fighting for fair compensation. Despite these challenges, artists are not taking this lying down. Musicians are banding together, demanding fairer compensation from streaming services. They are exploring alternative models of distribution, such as direct-to-fan platforms and subscription services that prioritize artist revenue. Filmmakers are seeking out independent distributors and embracing crowdfunding to maintain creative control and ensure a larger share of the profits. The fight for fair compensation is not just about money. It's about respect, about recognizing the value that artists bring to our lives. It's about ensuring that future generations of creators have the opportunity to share their talents with the world without being exploited by a system that prioritizes profit over artistry. Section 9. The future of music and film in a streaming-dominated world. The future of music and film in a streaming-dominated world remains uncertain. Will streaming services adapt their models to ensure fairer compensation for artists? Will consumers become more conscious of the impact their listening and viewing habits have on the livelihoods of creators? Will new platforms emerge that prioritize artist sustainability and artistic integrity? The answers to these questions will shape the future of entertainment. One thing is certain. The relationship between artists, technology, and the consumption of art is in a constant state of flux. The challenge for both creators and consumers is to navigate this evolving landscape in a way that supports artistic expression and ensures the sustainability of the creative arts. Section 10, a call to action supporting artists in the digital age. So, what can we as consumers of music and film do? We can start by being more conscious of our consumption habits. Instead of viewing streaming services as bottomless pits of entertainment, we can approach them with intention. Seeking out and supporting the artists whose work we value, we can attend live shows, purchase merchandise, and spread the word about the artists we love. We can also advocate for change. We can support organizations that fight for artists' rights and demand that streaming services implement fairer compensation models. We can vote with our wallets, choosing to support platforms and services that prioritize artists' sustainability. The future of music and
The days of the CD. The CD era. Yo, what used to be so dope about this, run to the store, you pull out the booklet, you open it up, and you check in the credits. Who wrote what? Who produced it? Oh, wow. Shout outs and all of that. Yeah, I never opened this up. Posters, marketing strategies. I didn't even know I had this. But this is a part of the album. This is Missy Elliott. This is not a test. Wow. This used to be one of the best parts about buying a CD. Unfortunately, the CDs has become extinct, or at least forced to become extinct. So you have to think about something for a second. All artists, attention, all artists. If you're an artist, and at the end of the day, you know for sure you have a product to sell, whether it be music or a film producer for DVDs. Let's just make believe this was a DVD. CD, DVD. But these are all two CDs, it's actually the Jodeci joint, 20th Century Meeting, Millennium Collection. But artists, when you had the opportunity to cut the middleman out and go direct to consumer with the market by having selling these physical product. Now we're stuck in a streaming service where we're getting worse than what the industry was doing to us from the jump. Because a point of album, back in the days, they would tell you, yo, you're getting 3 cents off of every album. So if an album was selling platinum 1 million, that's 1 million copies. 1 million copies at $10 a copy. It's about 10 million profit. Independent. They killed the independent game. People was independent. They would go to CD baby disc makers and print up a bunch of CDs with the jackets and the covers and the gloss and all the high tech and the saran wrap and all that straight out the trunk of the car. Now you have 1 million streams. 1 million streams on a stream service platform that the millennials in this modern era will tell you, oh, it's played out. If you have one of these, you've been bamboozled. What are we talking about? Played out. So it's played out for you wanting your money? For you to make sure you getting your money? Like, I get emotional about this because it's real. It's like, what type of brainwash is you under that you will lose? You're willing to give away your abilities. So that's like you at your job, and I tell you, yo, every check you're gonna give me 30% of every check you earn. Give that to me. You don't know me from a hole in the wall. You listening to me right now, like, yo, who he? Who this dude? But it's, see, missing the whole point, the principle. Artists, you're willing and openly allowing yourself to be taken advantage of, bamboozled, to lose the direct to consumer concept of doing business and marketing for what? To say, oh, I'm with the modern era, I'm with this newness, streaming, but you as the artist is getting raped, ravaged, and disrespected beyond belief. Then it makes you wonder, is doing music even worth it anymore? Oh, that's why it's so microwavable now. You don't need to put no quality in music. Just come up with a nice dance and a jingle. If disrespect your culture, if you're black, and you're winning. Hmm. Just think about that. Something ain't even right. But you talk about you're about getting to the bag. But your CD as an artist, a DVD is played out, you're bugging.